Hi, it's Dr. Phoenix. Today we're going to be talking about dimensional analysis. Up till now, anytime we've done conversions, we've stuck within the metric system and we've used the ladder method, or what we call the King-Henry method. And I know that this is very familiar to you, and if I can just quickly summarize the King-Henry method, if we look at this graphic up here, kilo, hecto, deca, the base unit, deci, centi, milli. When we're doing a conversion within these prefixes, we will start out with the unit that's given. In this case, we're given 4 kilometers, and we're asked to convert it into meters. 4 kilometers into how many meters? So we start over here with kilo, and we move 1, 2, 3 places to the right to convert it into meters. So what does that mean we're going to do? We're going to move the decimal point 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So 4 kilometers, we're going to move the decimal point from here 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So 4 kilometers is 4,000 meters. Just one more real quick. If we started at milli and we wanted to go to meters, we would be moving 1, 2, 3 decimal places to the left. Okay, I know in physical science we did a lot of conversions, and I hope that that is still fresh in your mind. But what if we did a conversion like this, or if you were asked to do a conversion like this? Convert 55 miles per hour into meters per second. Well, King-Henry breaks down at that point. So in order to make a conversion like this, we're going to use what's known as dimensional analysis. When we use dimensional analysis, we're going to be given a quantity, in this case is 55 miles per hour, and we're going to be asked to convert it into a desired quantity, in this case meters per second. In order to do that, we're going to have to come up with some kind of a conversion factor. So let's use an easier example to start with. Let's convert 4 days into hours. Well, some of you can do that in your head. I know this is a fairly easy one, but let's just use this as a starting point. 4 days is our given quantity, and our desired quantity is going to be hours. So we want to convert 4 days into hours. There are 4 steps that I want you to follow whenever we do conversions using dimensional analysis. First of all, write the given quantity as a fraction. We're going to write 4 days as a fraction. Well, there is no denominator in 4 days, so you can always write that over 1, 4 days over 1. And we'll also write the desired quantity, which is hours. How many hours will this be? And what we want to do is come up with a conversion factor that is equal to 1 that will get rid of days and turn it into hours. So we're going to multiply by a conversion factor that is equal to 1 that will cancel out the days. Days is in the numerator here. We want a conversion factor where days will be in the denominator so that the days will cancel, and we'll be left with hours. Well, what would be equal to 1 in this case? 24 hours is equal to 1 day. That is the same as 1. This conversion factor is equal to 1. All right, so we can cancel out days. We're going to be left with hours, and that's what we're looking for. Once we cancel the units and we have the desired units, now we do the math. Multiply across the numerator, multiply across the denominator, and in this case we end up with 96 hours. All right, how about if we want to convert 12 days into seconds? Our given quantity is 12 days. We will write it as a fraction, so we'll write it over 1. Our desired quantity is going to be seconds. Well, I don't know how many seconds there are in days. I don't have a single conversion factor to do that, so I'm going to do it in steps. So I've written the given quantity as a fraction, and I need to come up with conversion factors that are equal to 0. So since I don't know how many seconds there are in days, I do know how many hours there are in a day, so I'm going to start there. There are 24 hours in a day. I can cancel out days and I'll be left with hours now. But hours is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for seconds. So I'm going to come up with another conversion factor that's equal to 1, and I want to cancel out hours. So I'm going to multiply it by a conversion factor that's going to convert hours to minutes now. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. This will cancel out the hours. It's going to leave me with minutes. And I need to convert it one more time. How many seconds are in a minute? Of course, there are 60 seconds in a minute. This will cancel out minutes. And now I'm going to be left with seconds. So I've converted it down to the proper units. So now I do the math. I'm going to multiply straight across, and I'm going to be left with this number right here. This is 1,036,800 seconds. Problem is, my original number only has 2 significant figures. This number has, if we start from the Atlantic side, because there's no decimal point, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures. So we need to change that into 2 significant figures. The best way to do this is to use scientific notation. So scientific notation is to use a number between 1 and 10 times the power of 10. So to convert this into 2 significant figures, we're going to use 1.0. We're going to round this to 1.0 times 10 to the 6th. Okay, 1.0, if we put the decimal point right there, times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power. 1.0. You may ask, well, why not 1.04? Why don't we round that to a 4? Because 1.04 would be 3 significant figures, and we need to round this to 2 significant figures because that is our original number. Okay, so let's go back to our original problem, converting 55 miles per hour into meters per second. This is a little bit more difficult because we're going to have to convert both the numerator and the denominator. Our given quantity is 55 miles per hour. Miles per hour can be written like this, and our desired quantity is going to be in meters per second. So we're going to have to do each unit one at a time. I know that there are 1,609 meters in 1 mile. This is a conversion factor that's equivalent to 1, and it'll enable me to convert miles into meters. Miles will cancel out, and I'm going to be left with meters, and that's what I'm looking for in my final answer. So I've got meters. Now I need to get hours down to seconds. So we'll do just like we did the last time. A conversion factor that converts hours into minutes first of all. There are 60 minutes in an hour. We're going to be able to cancel out the hours. And then I want to convert minutes into seconds. So again, 60 seconds in 1 minute. We'll cross out minutes, and we're going to be left now with seconds. So here we have now meters over seconds, and that's what we're looking for. So now we'll multiply straight across, and we'll multiply straight across, and the answer will come to 24.5819 meters per second. That is 6 significant figures. Our answer has to be in 2 significant figures, so this needs to be changed to 2 significant figures, and we'll round this to 25 meters per second. Okay, I hope this was helpful to you. We'll do more practice of this in class tomorrow, so please feel free to ask questions in class or send me questions on my big campus, and I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you, and have a great day.